Hello, good morning. So I had some questions yesterday about what supplements I take on vacation for either my husband and I or my kiddos, and then also just about what we did for my kids who got sick. So I thought I would hop on. I'll try to keep this short and sweet and just kind of show you guys how we pack stuff up and what we do when we travel. So when I think about illness from a holistic perspective, I have kind of four categories of ways that I help prevent and then treat those illnesses. So essential oils is one, homeopathic medications, herbs, and then supplements. So we take supplements most of the year. We typically take breaks on the weekends and then when we travel. The caveat to that is if we travel in the winter, I usually bring a couple things with us. So I will start there. We were traveling to a warm place, so vitamin D is a supplement that we usually give daily, but since we were going to be in the sunshine, I did not bring our vitamin D, but I did bring vitamin C. So we do a food-based vitamin C supplement. The whole family does except the baby, from a company called Paleo Valley. So I did bring a bottle of this, and I typically will just fill up a little vitamin travel compartment thing with some of my different supplements. So vitamin C is one we take kind of preventatively and then also when we get sick. When I think about the kiddos or my husband and I actually getting sick, I will kind of move to some of the things we do here for that. So the first thing I do is called oscillococcinum. It's a homeopathic medication, and we actually do this once a week as a preventative. And then in a training I had from a functional medicine practitioner, she actually recommends you take this for any sort of symptom, cold or flu related, 3 times within the first 24 hours. So it's a little tiny vial and they actually taste good. So my kids love these. So I always make sure to bring some of these with us. And it's the first thing I give if anyone is getting symptomatic. So I'll do that right off the bat and then an additional 2 times within that first 24 hours. If it stays flu-like, I will continue this medication because this homeopathic is typically given for flu-like symptoms. If it moves to more of a cold, I will move to Cold Calm. So both of these are from a brand called Boreon, but there's another company out there called Genexa that offers some homeopathic medications as well. So those are the 2 homeopathics I will do. And then the other things I will do for my kiddos, I don't typically do it for us because we just don't get sick, are some herbals. So I pack everything up in this little stasher bag so it's easy to take with us. They're smaller vials and then leak proof. And this first one is called Windbreaker. So it is a Chinese herbal supplement that has a dropper that you can give as is or with some juice. My kids don't love the way this one tastes, but it's been really great for us this winter. It helps with sore muscles, respiratory symptoms, so I will just add it to a little bit of juice. We like Balance Superfood shot juices, but then you could also just get a regular juice from your hotel lobby or a nearby grocery store. The other thing we do is called V-Clear. So this is an African herb, and this particular one's from Integrative Therapeutics. This one they actually do like the taste of, so that is good, but you could still just kind of mix them together and have a little cocktail. And these are great. So the V-Clear is typically better for respiratory symptoms. It has clinical studies showing that it reduces the severity of upper respiratory infections. So typically you give it right off the bat and you'll continue it for 48 hours after the illness, whereas the Windbreaker can be flu-like or respiratory. The other things we do for respiratory are magnesium spray. So I have a big, huge bottle of this, but I just poured some into a smaller little 2-ounce spray bottle, and I will squirt this along with some frankincense oil, essential oil, and then mix it with some fractionated coconut oil, which again, I downsize into a smaller little container. And I will use these at night for cough. So that's something I always make sure I travel with. And then the last cold medication that I bring, and again, I add it to this, is zinc. So zinc is great for colds. I actually used it myself this time because I got a little bit of the kids' cold. But the caveat with this one is my functional medicine practitioner recommends not giving this until over the age of 6. So that is kind of the rundown on flu-like and cold-like symptoms. A couple other options that we don't always travel with, but you certainly could, are propolis throat spray or Biocidin throat spray. So these are just a couple of options if they have a sore throat. In my opinion, and I'm trying to pack lightly, I can maybe handle a sore throat. If I have some of the more severe flu-like or cold-like symptoms, I want to make sure I have remedies with me. So if you have room, pack them. If not, don't worry about it. So as far as my husband and I, if we get any sort of abnormal symptom that's coming on, we will use doTERRA's On Guard beadlet. So I will pop these every couple of hours, and you can't even hardly see it. They're very, very, very tiny, but it just pops the oil directly into your mouth, and these have worked great. I even have my mom using them, and she loves them. So that is something we'll do if we start getting some sort of a symptom. And then the other kind of preventatives that we have for us, just in case, are another little smaller stasher bag full of essential oils. So the things that I like to have kind of a blend option for over a conventional medication is my past tense. So this is if we just had different headaches or neck tension. Deep blue if we have sore muscles, I'm baby wearing, not sleeping well. So this one is great for me. We use digestion on all of us, kids and adults. This is great for stomach problems. So we always want to make sure we have that one with us. And then Breathe. Breathe is an all-time favorite. We use this every night, my husband and I, just before we go to bed. But then this is also one we will use on the kids or us if we have issues with respiratory stuff overnight. And then the last oil I typically bring with me is peppermint, and I don't put that one in my travel bag. I will actually put this in my carry-on, and what I use this for on the airplane is like ear popping and ear pain. So I will put it right in front of my ear and behind my ear, definitely not on top of or inside, but it helps with some of that ear pain. So again, I have kind of all my oils packed up in this little mini stasher bag that I can zip up, and a little container of a fractionated coconut oil that helps me dilute it if I need to apply it to my kiddos. If you feel like that's still too much, another option is like an old Altoid container with little tiny mini bottles of oils, and even, I don't know if you can see that, I have a couple of roller bottles in there. So I typically will keep this in my purse all the time, but now that we're traveling with 5 people, I typically find that I need a little bit more volume with us, so we bring the bigger stasher bag. So the last couple of things I wanted to show you guys that we travel with are doTERRA has some little drops. So they have an On Guard one that is great for just if you start feeling sick. They look like little cough drops. Ginger, which is great for stomach problems. I know when I'm on vacation, I am typically not eating as well as I normally would at home. And then Breathe, just scratchy throats, those type of things. My kids don't love these, but these are great for my husband and I. And then the last thing I carry in our little supplement container. So again, I had in here our vitamin C, our zinc in case we had respiratory issues, and then the last thing is coconut charcoal. So this is an activated charcoal that helps if you have any stomach issues while you're on vacation, because again, you may be exposed to different water sources, eating or drinking things that you may not be used to. I have not given this to my kids, although I would imagine you probably could. I need to do a little bit of investigation on that. If they have stomach problems, I typically go back to that essential oil, but I just throw a few of these into my container and take them with us. That way I don't have all these bottles flying around. So I hope that was helpful. I see a few of you have joined in. Hi. Do you guys have any questions about different things I travel with as far as supplements or medications for either my kiddos or ourselves when we're traveling? Let me know. I will save this video, and I hope you guys found it helpful. I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.